Hi guys, it's welcome to Molly's Maths today, 19th of January. Got me music on. I'm listening to bit of Bob Marley. Hope you got yours on and you're listening to something cool and making you chill out. Without further ado, let's get started with some more of our favourite maths, Molly's Maths. Right, what's question one? We've got a couple of things to solve here. We've got the first one is 6 times 4. So we've got to solve that. So what are 6 fours? 6 fours are, what are they? Anybody know? Anybody know the answer to this one? 6 fours are 24. But as you can see, we've got a plus and a minus. What happens when we times a plus and a minus together? We end up with a minus, so that would be minus 24. The next one, we've got 7 times 4. So what are 4 sevens? Who knows the multiplication tables? Well, 1 7 is 7. 2 sevens are 14. 3 sevens are 21. 4 sevens are 28. So you could write it down at the side there. It's always good to learn your multiplication tables because they're the basis of all maths. And if you can really spend some time and learn them, you're really going to benefit from learning those in long-term maths. So if we write down 28 there, and again we've got, if we look, we've got a minus and a minus. So if they're the same, if they're 2 pluses, you're going to get a plus. If they're both minuses, it's going to be a plus. So the answer is 28. Yeah, so let's move on to the next question. I hope you understand that one and followed it. Question 2. Right, question 2. Which of these numbers are cube numbers? Right, so do you know what a cube number is? Well, a cube number is a number times by itself and times by itself again. And there's no really easy way of finding out what a cube number is. The only way is really you've got to know them really. So if we start off with number 1 and we times it by 1 and times it by 1, again, what do we equal? 1 times 1 times 1, anything times 1 is always going to be 1. What about 2? So if we go 2 times 2 times 2, what does that equal? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Right, let's do number 3. 3 times 3 times 3, what does that equal? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. And if you times 9 by 3, you get 27. What about 4s? Should we have a look at the 4s? 4 times 4 times 4 equals, well, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So what have we got there in we've got cube numbers of 1, 8, 27 and 64. Now, as you can see, our list at the top there goes from 3, the lowest number, to the highest number of 64. So 3 is not a cube number, so we can cross him out. He's not on our list. 6 is not a cube number, so we can cross him out. 8, he is a cube number, so we'll leave him. 14, not a cube number. 16, not a cube number. 28, not a cube number. 41, not a cube number. 64 is a cube number. So there you go. The answer is 8 and 64. So there's only those two numbers. So the answer for that question is 8. I'll put a circle around that. 8 and 64. Right, the second question is, what is the cube root? So that's going the other way, basically. So it's the cube root is so the cube root of 8 would be 2. A number divided by itself and divided by itself again. So a cube root of 1 is 1. And we've already done the working here. We can see we've got 27. We can see that 3, if I write it down again at the bottom here, 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. So the cube root is 3. It's basically, with cube roots and cubes, you need to work through them, and you get to know the values of them. So it's if you start with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and work up, you'll eventually get to the answer. I hope that's helpful. Yeah, a bit challenging, but let's move on to the next question. Question 3. Right, again, some of these are quite visually challenging. So it says enlarge the small shape by a scale factor of 3. Well, I've actually done it on the graph. So the small shape, as you can see, it looks a bit like a cross. It's a cross, basically, but the cross is made up of each arm of the cross is one cube. And it's asked for a scale factor of 3. So basically, you're just enlarging everything by the value of 3. So on the big cross, you'll see that each arm, the size of everything is increased by 3. So 1. So so that becomes, from there to there is 3. And everything is increased by 3. So all your point, everything's just 3 times bigger. Something you probably need to practice on a graph, and you can. But this is definitely the small cross has been increased by 3. Everything's 3 times as big. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one's to do with question 4. Reflect triangle A in the axis. Again, if we look at the bottom at the bottom, we can see we've got triangle A. We've got triangle A there. And when we want to reflect something in the axis, basically, it's just like a mirror. It's like looking in a mirror. So basically, you look in a mirror and you'll see your face, but it's the other way around. And the reflection line is the x-axis, which is this line, the line running horizontally in the middle of the graph. That is the x-axis there. And if you reflect it, you're just moving it into the same position opposite. So the points become the complete opposite. So if you look at the A1, which is the reflection image, which is above here, you can see it's just the image, but the other way around when it's reflected through the x-axis. So the small point is nearest the axis at the at A, and again with A1 it's nearest, and the base is furthest away from the x-axis. It's something you need to practice and have a go at. But on this occasion, this is what it would look like if you reflected A, the triangle A, through the x-axis. You would end up with an A1, and that's where it would be positioned. Again, it's another thing to try at home, but it's not too difficult if you try it a few times. It's just like looking in the mirror again. Okay, let's move on to the next question. How's the music going? You listening? You enjoying? Bob's sounding pretty good here. Yeah, we've got 3 little birds. Everything's going to be all right. So make W the subject of the formula. Well, you can see the formula. We've got Y equals 3W minus A. But what we've been asked to do is make W equal whatever the formula is. Now, the easiest way to do this is I like to start off with W on the right hand side. So it's a bit of algebra. So if we just go 3W minus A equals Y, that is the same. All I've done is I've moved the equals and Y to the other end of the formula. So now it's just going through the formula again. So just going through the steps. So 3W, let's get rid of the A, put it the other side, equals Y. And if I do something to this side, if I take A away from this side, I need to add it to the other side. Plus A. We're nearly there. Now we've got 3W. So if we divide divide that by 3, we get rid of the 3. So we need to divide the other side by 3. So basically we just put the 3 underneath. So all you've done is and we've done that with the A. So there you go. So the answer is, I'll write it down again here at the bottom, but the actual answer is W equals Y plus A over 3. Bit of algebra. You just follow the steps, follow the rules, and you should be able to come up with the answer. Algebra is not everybody's favourite, but again, a little bit of practice at home, and you will improve your algebra and get some good marks in the exam. I think that's it today. Let's just check there's no more questions. Once again, let me know how you got on. Let me know what music you've been listening to. See if it's something I like. I can get it into my collection. And that's it for today. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.